days. But hi, everybody. It's great to meet you all. I am Mark Tate, and Jenny asked me to come and chair this session, which I'm delighted to do because it's looking at practical solutions that we in the Cairngorms desperately need. Of our panelists that are listed, I think we've got Ruth, Gerard, and Matt remaining. So this is your heads up that I will come to you in that order. So I'm Mark Tate, Cairngorms Business Partnership. We are the Chamber of Commerce for the Cairngorms National Park, and we also operate the destination organisation Visit Cairngorms, and would have been delighted to welcome you all to the Cairngorms today, and look forward to doing so in May. I mean, this subject is massively important to our 400 plus members, and Jenny's a member with one of her many other hats on. Our 400 plus members across the national park. It's also important to our visitors. It has, at last, it has a really high profile at the moment. The recently signed off National Park Partnership Plan includes the statement, and I'll read it to you, and we can share the links to this in the box, transforming transport. And then, the plan states we will improve public transport for residents, commuters, and visitors, better connecting communities and reducing private car wastage. So that's the National Park Partnership Plan, which the National Park Authority and partners, including ourselves, are committed to delivering over the next 5 years. For once as well, we also have some funding available within the National Park through a Heritage Horizons lottery funded project, of which travel is a major part, and Cairngorms 2030, which is the delivery name of this project, being delivered through the National Park Authority, is a multi-million-pound project, and there's lots in there around building e-bike networks, active travel, etc. And it's a shame there's nobody from the Park Authority here today to talk about it, but the headline is that they'll work with communities and partners to improve active and sustainable transport provision in the park. So I am really interested to chair a session on practical solutions to how we do that. So I'm going to go across to Ruth first and say, Ruth, yeah, how do we do that in 2 minutes?
Thanks, Mark. So hi, I'm Ruth Wilson. I'm a social researcher at the James Hutton Institute. My research focuses on rural and island communities and what helps them to thrive. So my focus is really on the everyday lives of residents and all the factors that determine what their day is like. So that includes transport, also housing, jobs, digital access to services, and how all of these things interconnect, and how they affect population levels, the livability of a place, and the resilience of communities. Today, I was going to take the opportunity to talk about a new 5-year research project funded by the Scottish Government Strategic Research Programme, through which we'll be working with a variety of communities across Scotland, because the issues are different in different places, and including people of different ages and genders, who've got different needs from transport. And it's to understand the issues that they're facing, and also to join them up with policymakers to try to overcome some of the hurdles that they're facing and draw lessons from other places. So it's not just about studying what's happening, but also about using our role as researchers to enable change through practical solutions, hopefully doing work that's useful to people here today. Transport will be one of the aspects that we focus on, looking at sustainability in the broadest sense, so environmental, but also like social well-being and the implications of rising energy prices. So, what are the choices that people are going to be making? Is it going to be shopping versus leisure and seeing friends, for example? And transport in relation to other aspects of rural life, so jobs, school, healthcare, and so on. We are currently speaking to communities to confirm where we're going to be focusing, because we want the research to be collaborative rather than us going in and doing research to communities. So by the time we get to May next year, we can let you know where that will be and a bit more detail of the themes we're looking at and how we're going to be going about this work. Really looking forward to doing that in person. We'd be really happy to hear from anyone here today about initiatives that they're involved in or ideas that they might have. I've already heard some great examples in the session already, and I'll put my email in the chat in case anyone wants to get in touch.
Great, thank you, Ruth. So we'll head over to Scotland in miniature, Arran, and hear from Gerard as to what's happening in Arran.
Hi all. Yeah, I'm Gerard from Arran Eco Savvy. So very small fry. I feel a bit inferior to everybody that's spoken so far. You know, basically I just deal with stuff on the island as far as a fleet of e-bikes and just trying to do our best on the island. And I think for me, simply living and working on the island, I've been a cyclist all my life. I've mapped the whole of the island basically, and I've got these little green travel maps. You'll find that on Arran Eco Savvy's website, which, you know, just for me as an ex-designer, I've been able to include more information than probably anybody else has been able to put on Arran. And they are available all over the island, and I'm sure people get a lot out of them when they pick them up. But it's just a small example of me being very practical. That's kind of what it is. Another one would be all this talk of strategy and feasibility studies and stuff that's been going on for decades already, and feels almost like it's going to continue to go on for decades in the future, without much practical work getting done. I'm at the moment trying to work with forestry and council and anybody else that's wants to be involved in actually just putting some links together, so that for an active travel network, for instance, we've got hundreds of miles of forestry roads, and there are some very small gaps between the roads and the main road, for instance, or other trails, which if we could just work together and fill these links, we could probably ride around the Arran traffic free, or walk around Arran traffic free, without having to include Sustrans or the like. You know, we could almost do it ourselves, and it's kind of, that's how it feels to me, just working on my own, being involved in this sort of thing. And I suppose I come from a more practical background, you know, and it's just trying to do rather than hoping that somebody else can do it in the future. You know? So that's kind of where I'd like to sort of focus on, certainly next year.
Great, thank you, Gerard. And you're right, it's that those links. There's lots of great. I mean, we're looking at that in the Cairngorms at the moment. There's loads of great paths, great networks, great facilities. Linking them together is the big challenge that remains. So I'm going to go across to Matt. Matt is from the routing company, I believe. I hope I got that right, Matt. So Matt, over to you.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, so my name's Matt. I work at the routing company. I work on different partnerships and different deployments that we have within Scotland. The routing company works on demand responsive transportation and how we're able to connect communities, and with our deployments in Scotland, more rural communities, to the rest of the travel network. And that's what I will be bringing to the discussions in May time. So looking forward to chatting with you all then.
Great, thank you, Matt. And also we were due to have, and will hopefully have in May, I'm sure we will, Rory Watt from the Highland area for developing mountain bike in Scotland, and also Martin from Germany, who was due to address us at the start of the session, and will do so in May. So hopefully we look forward to seeing you all in May in the Cairngorms. I will hand back to Jenny if there are no questions for any of the panelists.
I can't see any questions. I might just tie things together by bringing in something that Matt's doing down in the borders, I think, Matt, isn't it? That brings in the sustainable travel with the bike, the bit that we've been talking about, and shared mobility, which ties back to Rachel. So I'm trying to link it together before we finish off. So Matt.
Yeah, sure. So one of the things that we look at when we look at demand responsive transportation is how it can really unlock other modes of transportation as well. So one of the things that we're building out and which will be available is much in the way in which you would use a demand responsive app to book a wheelchair space or a mobility scooter space. We're looking at introducing the ability to book your bike on the service as well. Then what this does is this hopefully gives you that confidence that if you are bringing a bike or you want to use a bike, that you know you'll be able to get it onto the bus and be able to have that level of certainty. Tying in with that, the other thing that we've built already is what we call Transport Connect, which is guaranteeing you your arrival time at your next location of travel. So if you're getting a train at 12, it ensures that you get there by 11:50. And the whole idea or the whole purpose behind that is with certainty breeds reliability. And when you have reliability, then you're willing to change your patterns. And so that would be on the sustainable side and the connected side. One of the things that as a company we've identified is really key to getting people to change their behavior is confidence and certainty in the alternatives that are available.
Fab, thanks, Matt. You've hit on, so I'm seeing heads nodding for everybody that's got videos on. I see heads nodding in total agreement on this. And I think we could have all paid you to say that, because that's how we all feel, that we all need this to be working together and for it to be seamless. Before I sort of conclude, some of the slides I was going to show at the gathering was my experience back in Switzerland, which many of you know is a second home to me. And you... Controversially, some of you may not like the idea of a visitor tax coming, but we pay a visitor tax when we go to Switzerland, about £5 per day per person for an adult, £2.50 for a child. And that gives you access to museums, boats, transport, swimming pools, climbing walls, heaps of different things. So all I can say is didn't spend much money because we were out doing things, but a bike went on the following, and this is how I'm going to finish off this. A bike went on a boat, a bike went on a bus, a bike went on DRT, a bike went on trains, a bike went on a telecabine, okay? It went everywhere. That is something that we should be able to do in this country. And that is something that if we at SRITC is a big group of people and organizations representing who we do, and we're all users at the end of the day, if we can make any of that slightly real, I personally think we've achieved massively. And I say slight because I don't expect to build Rome in a day. But wouldn't it be great if you could get your bike on your bus? And Mark Tate and I both know this problem because we've been banging on about it for ages as well. These shouldn't be insurmountable challenges to us. And the difference it made to my time away on holiday, I didn't have to use a car. And I was in a rural area. And I had phenomenal broadband, which some of you are struggling with today as well. So yeah, this is possible. I came back and went, we just need a mindset reset here. We can make it happen. We want it to happen. Can I say as a community, let's bloody make it happen, okay? And we can make it happen. And I really do appreciate all your time and effort for coming along today, because I think all of these themes here, I mean, I deliberately used the word unconventional mode with the word innovation for section 1. Unconventional mode was a term developed in 1969, and it was talking about having little buses going around to pick people up. That is not an unconventional mode today, is it? So I think we also forget that we have actually traveled quite far on the spectrum, as it were. We always say that rural transport hasn't changed. It has changed. I've got many slides to show that our assumptions have changed, our presumptions, our expectations, etc., have changed. My expectation and hope and aspiration is we can try and get something where we could take seamless travel and get on a telecabine or whatever it may be. And that links quite neatly to our October Cafe. And we are going to Japan in October, and we are privileged today. Azrael, who some of you will know from the regular, because we're not just Scotland based, we're worldwide based. Azrael is actually over from Japan, was meant to be in Botagarten. He's in Scotland, so if anybody wants to meet him, feel free to do so. But he's going to share a spotlight in Japan in October on the cafe to share what's actually happening there. And it threads through everything that we've talked about today, whether it's using trains to not only carry people and parcels and vegetables, but the dynamics that happen in Japan. So Ajul's on the chat, and Rennie has also been chatting away here as well. And many of you will have seen Rennie, will have heard about Midlands Connect. That is our November cafe. And I think Alex is putting the bits and pieces in here. Again, it all threads through. So yes, people sent me emails saying, are you gutted that we're not all in person today? Naturally gutted. But do you know what? As you've all indicated, I think we're going to have too much to discuss in May. We might have to stretch the days out or stretch the evenings out to be able to discuss this, share this, learn, and make things happen, because that's what we do. So again, really appreciate all of this, appreciate all the time. I'm going to finish early. How about that? Unless anybody actually has any questions or wants to say anything. But my final plea is, if you want to be part of SRITC's advisory board and be part of the future, then please, no obligation, drop us an email. It'd be great to have you on board. And I really thank everybody for their time today. And Alex has been a great supporter in the background here, and he keeps ploughing away. So please, a big thanks out to Alex as well for helping get this together for today. So unless anybody's got something else to say, aside from polls coming up, anybody need to get something off their chest? No, that's amazing. 60 odd people and it's all quiet. That has to be a first.
Lego.
Oh, Lego, I forgot to do that. I knew, I'm too tired. Thank you, Kate. Yes, final bit, workshop. The workshop will be hybrid and is Lego. So I'm giving you advance warning. If you plan to be online, you will be asked to download some software so that you can play with Lego online. Okay, and you will be part of it, doing exactly the same workshop as we're doing in person. And this Lego is only possible because Kate reminded me that I need to go to Kate. Kate.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm a Lego Serious Play facilitator. What everybody does is they build models and then they share something about them, and it enables people all to be heard and to contribute all their ideas equally in developing something. And so at the beginning, just to demonstrate, you don't have acres of Lego. It's not like building models at home where you rake endlessly through all your little bits to find the exact right thing that the book says you have to have. This is much more creative. So for those who are in person or those who are at home who actually have Lego to hand, they can actually use the actual Lego as well, although I think Jenny,
yep.
So which is a bit better than the online, but you can do both. So while at the beginning, while Jenny was speaking, I built a little model to represent what I was hearing. And so what we've got here is Jenny, and standing not very tall, but she's on the ground. The green stuff is rural, and there's round pieces on top which represent the islands. Jenny is a sort of Valkyrie of rural transport here, or a chief, or making it fly. And she's created this platform here, which is SRITC, which is going to have an advisory board with lots of different people with insights on it. And that's creating the platform for rural and islands transport in Scotland to launch into the future. So that's what I did. So that's an example of what you can do with Lego. So I built it, and then I shared it with you all, telling you what the bits represented. And while I was building it, I didn't really know what I was building. I was just listening, and my hands were doing the work. And then I came up with the explanation of what it represented when I was speaking to you. And that's how it works. And we captured the insight, everybody's insights, to create our output from that workshop. So that's what it is.
Thank you, Kate. And I have a lot of Lego that we ordered that's sitting in my office at the moment, taking up a lot of space. So I'm not going to tell you how many packets we have, but there's quite a lot. So I've designed it so it can be done online. So, as Kate will tell you, it's usually done in person so that we can bring everybody into the fold. And as Kate said, if you want to be online, don't want to use the software, I can give you the list of parts that you can go rummaging for until May to have in your home office or wherever you're going to be to join us online. So I'm looking forward to Lego, and I really appreciate Kate giving her time voluntarily, because that's what we do, to help with that. Now, it is 2 minutes to go till 11:30, and I don't think I've forgotten anything else. Have I? Anybody? Yay. I think I might be having the bottle of Prosecco that I also have, and the gin, because we've actually done it. So until October, until November, and then until May. enjoy what is a very different time to what we were expecting to be, but I really appreciate it. Go and get a coffee, go stretch your legs. And my musketeers can hang on if they can, please. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Take care.
Bye.
Everyone.
Bye,
Much
everyone.
appreciated. Well
See
done.
you next year.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye. See you soon.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Next month. Bye.